let's go over sugars real quick. So we have 3 types of sugars, right? Monosaccharides. What's the other one? Di and poly, right? So what are the 3 monosaccharides?
Glucose, fructose, and galactose.
So definitely know these. I'm sure some sort of question with these is going to be on the test. It was last semester.
I have a question. If we just studied this, are we good? Because there's a lot of stuff that's not on this.
Okay, so my teacher always said, don't know it or learn it, you have to own it. So the hard part is you have to know everything on the study guide and everything about everything on the study guide. To some extent.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to know it in like super great detail. But if you understand how things work, then you'll do pretty sharp. So, cool. Alright, so these 3 all have something in common. What is it in their structure? 6 carbon, right? 6 carbon molecules. And so it looks something like that. 6 of them. When they're put in water, they turn into ring-shaped molecule. Like that. So oftentimes when you see that weird hexagon shape in the book, it's just representing a wet glucose molecule. Okay? This whole little chain right here is called a polymer. So whenever you see a long chain of some type of sugar, it's going to be a polymer. And each individual one is going to be called a monomer. Cool. So that's the smallest form of sugar in our body. Whenever we take sugars in, we're trying to break it down to that so that our bodies can absorb it and use it for energy. Okay. So who knows the name of the disaccharides?
Maltose.
Maltose is one.
Sucrose. And lactose.
How do we make disaccharides?
Combining 2 monosaccharides.
Combining monosaccharides, right? So what makes maltose?
Glucose
Just-
and glucose.
2 glucoses, right? What makes lactose? Yep. So that one's easy, right? It has galactose or lactose already in it. And then what makes sucrose?
Glucose and fructose.
Yeah. So the thing to remember is glucose is in all of them, you're just adding one other molecule to it. Cool? Okay, so when we take these in our bodies, we have our stomach, it goes through some digestive processes, but then it goes down to the small intestines. The first part of the small intestines is called the duodenum, and then it's called like the jejunum or something after that, I can't remember. But here's where you have enzymes that are used to break all 3 of these down. Do you guys know the name of those enzymes? Okay. So, a thing to remember for the rest of the semester is enzymes always end with ASE, ACE. So you're going to have maltase, which breaks down maltose. You have lactase, which breaks down lactose, and you also have sucrase. So lactose is like the sugar substance that's in milk. So if someone's lactose intolerant, what are they lacking?
The enzymes to break that down.
Yeah, so lactase, right? So if you don't have enough lactase, it sucks when you drink milk. Cool. So this is going to break it further down to this, and then they're absorbed into your bloodstream. And I don't know how deep they want you to know that, but is anybody here taking the lab?
Yeah.
Just about everybody. You guys learn about cilia?
Yeah.
One thing that cilia does is it absorbs these monosaccharides here, and then takes them into your bloodstream. So once like a glucose molecule enters your bloodstream, there's something called insulin, and insulin's released from your pancreas, and it's like a bouncer at a club. you need insulin when you reach a cell to say, this guy's cool, he can go in. Otherwise, glucose gets to the cell, and if he doesn't have insulin, you're stuck in the blood, you have diabetes, life sucks. Cool? Alright. Yeah, so if we have too much glucose, it combines with each other and they make glycogen. It's called hyperglycemia. When you have hyperglycemia, you make a lot of glycogen in your liver, and that's used for sugar later on, or energy. Make sense? Am I going too fast? No? Okay. So now we have polysaccharides. This is the worst eraser. Super gross. Okay. Polysaccharides, we have 3 kinds. Anybody know which ones fall under polysaccharides?
Is glycogen there?
Glycogen.
Starch and cellulose?
Yeah. Okay, so glycogen is what?
Storage form of glucose?
Storage form of glucose. We find this in animals. It's like blood sugar. Starch is found in plants, and cellulose is also found in plants. I think that's actually the outside layer of like things like wheat and things like that. But do we have an enzyme to digest cellulose?
No.
No, so what happens?
It just runs right through you.
Runs right through you, and then it provides bulk for your fecal matter, right? Why can't we digest it? Any clue? We don't have the enzyme. So if we had the enzyme, we'd be able to break it down. This is kind of interesting side note. Cows can break it down, but they also don't have the enzyme. They just have like a really strong bacteria in their stomach. So kind of interesting. Don't know why I know that. All right. So starch. Did any of you guys ever take white bread and roll it up in a ball when you were a kid and put it in your mouth? That was like the best thing to do, right? Right before bedtime. Why do kids do that? Because we're weird.
Because it makes it all doughy.
It's kind of doughy. So what's happening is you have an enzyme in your saliva. It's called amylase. Amylase breaks down starch. And white bread is almost all starch. So if you're breaking starch down, what does it become? Sugar, right? And children out of anybody have way more taste buds than us. So they're going to taste that sugary taste a little more than everybody else. So we like sticking white bread in our mouth.